if that's what we really are driven to, then we don't need any motivation for it, right? Praise is the only thing that I don't think anyone needs motivation for. It's like
Natural.
it's natural. It's like
Yeah.
food. Like you ain't gotta tell me twice. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. Like I'm not sitting over here
Yeah.
convincing myself I'm hungry. I'm just gonna eat. It's like the guys on Instagram or TikTok or whatever that flashing nice cars. They don't have to sit a week and say, hey, today I'm gonna do this and I have to go over here and I have to go get this and get this car and do this. No, they just do it because they want to. It's there's a story. You actually, I don't know if you know the brother, but you know a relative of his.
Mm.
His friend was getting married. So this unknown guy, his family member was getting married. And you know how everybody gets a nice car on their wedding,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know that.
Or his
What did you
brother.
have again? Was it a donkey and a wagon?
Hey man, it was a mule, right?
It's
Right.
a zebra.
I didn't have a car, bro. I got married. Alhamdulillah, man. I got married
I'm like, no, I'm jealous. You had a great,
I got married in a living room.
yeah,
It was great.
definitely amazing. I'm jealous of the
Alhamdulillah.
wedding you had.
Yeah, it was a great wedding. I actually really enjoyed it. Back to what I was saying. Oh yeah, this guy, his brother. So this unknown guy, his brother got married and he got a nice car. I can't remember the car, like a Porsche or something. You can imagine, right? His brother was tasked with bringing the car to the event.
Mm.
What this guy did is he went and got 8 outfits, right?
Hmm.
And took pictures with the car with 8 different outfits on. Yeah, 8 different outfits on. I know this number.
Oh my goodness.
8 different outfits on, and he would maybe go to like a Starbucks, take a picture over there. He would be in the park and take a picture over there with this, so that and then what he would do
Posted
is,
them in. I already know where
yeah,
this is
yeah,
going.
3-4 months down the
That's
line.
crazy.
So you're like, this has to be his car,
Yo,
and so I'm like, dude, you know how much effort that is?
that's insane.
Like effort to do all that just to look like you got it,
Oh my
because
gosh.
the fastest way to praise is just the illusion of money, not the actual money. That's another reason why I think praise is more value, holds more value in our eyes than money. The funny thing is, 2 to 3 years later, the guy actually becomes successful
Mm.
through some venture, and he bought himself a G wagon,
Mm.
and now he's posting with the G wagon. But no one will give him praise
Mm.
because they assumed he's always had money.
Mm.
And he says from what I understand, he told the brother that we know that people don't believe how hard I worked for this because I already fooled them with having it way before I had it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, it's like now he's still chasing praise,
Yeah.
but he just, you know what I mean? Like he wants a more authentic praise than he was getting before. So I'm just like, look how it shapes our lives, man.
You know who's in town?
Who?
I forgot to tell you. You know who's in town we gotta link up with?
Who?
Abdurrahman.
Which one?
Marketing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way. How did
I
that come
just,
up?
I was just thinking to myself because you know how we were like sometimes we'll bring someone over here,
Yeah, yeah,
and I was like, oh shoot, I should hit him up. But
yeah.
good guy.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think about maybe this is a dumb question, but like maybe it's just like default setting, but like what is it about praise that we want?
I think there's it's not all bad. That's what I think. I think the onus is on me to check it and check myself and why I do what I do and my intentions, but it's good in portions. So like if you think about customs and status, it's good. Like we have this motto, or it's انزلوا الناس منازلهم, like you give people, you treat them at the level that they're at.
Hmm.
So to a certain extent, when you are hosting certain people of certain demographics or certain status, there's a level of praise to give them when you're introducing them, right? But it can't be cutthroat. And it's on
What
them.
what do you mean by that? So like
So
let's say I have a friend who's just so happens to be like the prince of such and such.
forget money.
Whatever.
It doesn't have to be Prince. It could just be Dr. So and so, engineer so and so,
Yeah.
my friend of 15 years. And when you have a gathering and you're introducing friends to certain friends, you're like, mashallah, he's amazing. He does this, and that's a form of praise. I'm sure he's going to a certain extent, enjoy that, right?
Mm.
But So long as it's not it takes two. So the person who's praising needs to limit the praise. He can't overdo it, can't gas, like we say.
Mm,
And the person who's receiving the praise, it's on them. The onus is on them to deflect and say it's from Allah.
mm,
That's their test.
yeah,
See what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
yeah.
there's a balance. It's healthy. It's healthy to have a level of praise, like to praise people. I think in terms of like a relationship.
Yeah.
Like even if you think of husband and wife, like I'm gonna praise my wife. Of course she's gonna love it, but it's also helpful for our relationship to say, "Oh, you're the best wife. You're this. You're that. You're great. You know what I mean?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's nothing. If we look at all praise as all bad, then you know what I mean?
The way we talk with each other would be terrible.
Be very different.
Yeah.
And so it's not on us to say like just not praise people because of how they're gonna take it. It's on them to digest it and filter it. It's on us to, uh, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh
And you can tell, like, I mean, have you ever, you've done this before, when you introduce a chef,
my gosh,
like on stage,
yeah,
and they all hate it.
of
They
course,
don't want you to read their bio.
yeah,
Like, I studied 16 years
yeah.
in Medina or something like that. Like, no, 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 just don't tell it. But you need to do that because if you're just like, hey guys, so some dude with a beard is here to talk to y'all and just left, that's super disrespectful.
Mm.
But even if you didn't insult him and you didn't praise him, I don't even think just saying, hey, such and such, this is his name, here he is, because for the audience, they need to know who's addressing them.
Right.
If I'm talking to somebody who's been educated for XYZ length in this place, studied under these teachers, well, then now I kind of perk up a little bit more. I'm more attentive. I know exactly how much energy to give this person in terms of like me asking them questions or whatever. And do you follow? Like, does that make
No,
sense?
no, it does.
Right? But I feel like, how do you find out? There's no way either one of you know where that balance is.
No, no, it's on that person. Like let's say right now, like if I wanted to lie to you and just say like, hey, Sammy, like man, you got a really nice haircut. You look good.
Look, man, they all booked
That would
up.
make you feel good, right?
No, it wouldn't, because I know you're lying, bro. Look, I went for Eid and they're booked up.
Well, like it's not that bad. Honestly, I would be lying if I said it's even bad. I swear, I don't think it's bad.
I dead ass feel like I look like a thumb. So, I just look like a thumb, like like one with like a dirty nail.
Oh god.
That's like the hair. Like, bro, I feel so like when I said I wanted
You
to
remind me, like you remind me of a proper Somali now, though.
that's what I've heard this twice. I've heard
Yeah.
you look like a proper Somali, and I'm like, what does that mean?
No, I can't
Because
pinpoint it, but I don't know why. Maybe I've seen a lot of Somalis
but
with
if you've
that cut.
seen no Somalis like a while back, if you look at like older photos, like their hair was the length of my hair, what it used to be. Like it used to go down, right?
Mhm.
But dude, I asked the guy for a taper, like my G, like you could have left something on the side, you know what I mean? Like he was like, you don't want any side?
Wait, but I'm confused. I'm saying you look more Somali. You're saying Somalis had longer hair.
Longer hair, yeah. So for some reason,
Oh, you're saying you don't see
I
why
don't
they
see
see
why
it.
I look
Oh,
more Somali. But yeah, just
yeah.
it's tough.
My bad. But what I'm trying to say is, all right, is if someone got a haircut
Mm,
and you said, "Yo, that's a fresh cut," it's
yeah,
gonna make them feel good. Like there's nothing bad with saying, "Yo, you got a fresh cut."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a form. That's a form of praise. It's on them now. How are they gonna process that? Are they gonna let that get to their head and oh,
No,
fuck.
but saying like, "Oh, yo, you got a fresh cut," or "You got a nice T-shirt," that's like something that's still not me. But if you say, "Yo, you're a great person,"
No.
that's hard to like. It's not something that you gotta like work on. Like you tell if I really believe that I had a good haircut
Yeah.
and I walk around with a little bit of ego, this ego gonna die in 3 weeks because my hair gonna go grow back, right? Or hopefully that's right.
Mm.
Hair comes
But I
back,
like
you're
to take
done.
simple examples because you can extrapolate.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm bringing this example is like when you say something that's inherent about somebody versus something that they may have, right? Like don't say haircut, say like okay, maybe your salah or something, not even salah.
But
Like
that changes. Everything changes.
oh,
That's
I
the
guess yeah, it
thing.
does. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all.
but I
But
have this friend who tells me like
yeah.
he's a very genuine guy. He always, man, you're such a good guy. That's what he says to me all the time, right? That even if I do change, that statement sticks with you, and you're just like, you'll be the worst of the worst, still feeling like, man, such and such told me I was a good guy, so I'm gonna still be a good guy.
Yeah. I guess maybe because it's too vague.
Hmm.
Maybe it's too vague. But if someone comes up to you and says, "Man, you're a trustworthy person. You're an honest guy,"
Hmm.
you can kind of you know when you're lying, right? So it's like you can
Yeah, yeah,
you see, so like
yeah.
that's why maybe vague comments, like I don't like that. I remember I had a friend who would gas me, and it wasn't just me, it was everybody. He would gas you for like 5 minutes, and you're just trying to find the time to be like to cut the person off and like just stop.
You just couldn't find the time, could you?
Mm.
He's like, what else? Hey, what about the shoes? Yeah,
But that's honestly, it was just, but it was nothing of like substance.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
just like, yo, he's an amazing person. He's so good at everything, and
yeah. Yeah.
and well, honestly, it's actually such a cringe feeling. It's a
Yeah,
horrible.
especially when you know they're like misinformed because they're not like they may not think they're lying. Like for example, some guy is telling me like, "Oh man, this guy like on the internet, he's killing it, he's doing it," and I'm like, "I ain't posted 3 weeks." I know
Mhm.
comedians who started that had less than me who are now absolutely demolishing me, and
Mhm.
I'm sat there like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm killing it."
Yeah,
Like I know it's not true.
yeah,
They don't realize. So
true, yeah.
it's cringe when you know that it's a lie.
Mm.
Yeah. But I know that friend as well. Those people that I think I know this specific person. Yeah, yeah. Very very honest, nice people. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and it's just some people are, and maybe again, and I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be that judgmental person to say like, oh, they're, for all I know, they probably don't realize what they're doing, or they don't realize how bad it is.
yeah,
Ignorance can play a role. Allah's blessed me with the ability to see that, hey, this is something you shouldn't be doing
mm,
towards people. Maybe that person hasn't had that same knowledge or exposure.
yeah, yeah.
But like even I remember a hadith that I came across where it's like, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially the Prophet ﷺ saying like, it's better for you to take
Sound.
a sword
So,
to the neck of your brother. You might as well essentially cut his neck off if you're praising him like that.
so you're basically killing him.
You're killing him.
Mm,
And I was like, wow, the wisdom behind that. It's like I reflect back and I'm just like, it's crazy. Like it's all
yeah,
it
yeah,
all
yeah.
connects.
That's tough, actually. Yeah. So, and this is like the $1 million question, right? But what do you do about that? You said that there's some level of praise that's healthy, and I think I agree. You know, you want to feel like people are respected, and then the onus is on them to not let that get to heart, and them to understand that hey, this is from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. But I also don't think that us playing it safe is wrong either. Just saying like it's just such and such guy with the doctor. His name just so happened to be I don't know Ahmed. I don't mind introducing you to him as just
Yeah, brother.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't I
true.
don't need to say that he's a doctor. I know that might make him feel good, but I don't need to
No, for sure. I think
do that too.
circumstances will
Yeah,
dictate
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So, but what is the like? If it's something we're born with to love, praise, how do we win this fight? How do we, I guess not even win it completely. It'll just, you'd have to ward it off until, I guess, death come get you.
It's a
So,
part of it. I think a recognition of who Allah is. When you recognize who Allah is, it becomes more and more difficult for those things to get to your heart. The more you realize who Allah is, you begin to realize how little you are and start to realize that those comments are real, like they almost don't phase you.
they're comical at best.
Really, like if anything, you think that those comments are the most out, like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Mm,
so I think that's the remedy is knowledge. When you know, the more you know that it's all from Allah, then the less you're gonna absorb of it because it's just like everything that I have is from Allah. And we sometimes I talk about it, but it doesn't mean I've manifested it. It doesn't mean I've accepted it. It doesn't mean that I'm living with it. Maybe moments, maybe 10% of my life I can acknowledge those moments, but the other 90% I'm heedless of it, right?
mm,
So it's getting to a point where you're 95% of your life or 99% of your life, whatever,
mm.
hopefully 100, is where you're always in a state of recognizing who Allah is, and
Yeah,
those comments will never phase you in that sense.
yeah,
So I think it's a matter of, have you heard of exposure therapy?
no.
So like if someone is has like a crazy phobia of spiders, right? Right?
Just
You
throw a spider at it.
no,
That's
there's
crazy.
exposure therapy. It's not obviously it's steps.
Yeah.
So at first you're just talking about spiders, right?
Mm.
Then you're showing a picture of a spider. It's just pictures of a spider. And then maybe you go to a place where they have spiders, like, as pets somewhere, right? You're not even going into the store, you're walking by, whatever. It's steps of exposure to the point where over time, you now no longer fear spiders, right?
Mm.
Or the fear you have is a realistic one, right? Like you're not gonna go and pick up a poisonous spider, but so
Yeah.
I would say it's the same thing when it comes to this. It's like the relationship that I'm trying to show between exposure therapy and like the aspect of praise is it's something that happens over time. It's something that the more you expose yourself to it, the more you put yourself in that position of that conscious thought process, then the more easy it becomes to not deflect and shift that praise from you to Allah, shift that praise from you to Allah. So the
I
more you're
see.
exposed to it, the more it's practice. That's what it is. You can
Okay.
sit there and watch basketball all day. You can sit there and talk about basketball all day. If you don't go to the park or if you don't pick up a ball, dribble and shoot, then you're not gonna actually get good at the game.
Yeah. So you're saying that you need to be praised in order to learn how to deal with praise.
100%. I think it's just a process. It's
Mm.
just like anything.
But do you think that that somebody who's never been praised or maybe hasn't been praised enough, those people with like low self-esteem, that they might be the ones who really value praise over other people who may readily have it, right? Like somebody who's like particularly a good-looking person, for example, they may get tell every other day that they're good looking, but somebody who maybe doesn't get that compliment, it means a lot to them. How do you,
They
how do
could
you,
still be at the same level because even that person who constantly gets praise because they're constantly good looking, it doesn't mean that they've gone through the right steps to deflect.
oh, they may actually walk around thinking it's all from them. Yeah,
See what I'm
I see.
saying?
I see.
So it's that conscious thought, it's the conscious process of it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember the saying that Sheikh Yasser said, the more you know who Allah is,
yeah.
the more you know who you're not.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that always makes me like I mean studying like the names and attributes, right? Because one thing I used to be okay saying all good is from Allah, like all results are from Allah. Like if I pass a test or anything, that's all from Allah. But what I would still expect is people to give me credit for my work
Mm,
ethic.
mm,
I would still be like, yo, but this is all Allah, this is me though.
mm,
Like the work ethic is me though. That's me. Y'all saw me studying, right? Like that was me. Don't give that up to nobody. Stuff. But like this is how my heart processed it. And then it got to a point where, like, subhanAllah, after leaving school, where work ethic isn't dictated by a deadline, work
mm,
ethic is you setting your own deadlines and you getting up and doing it just because, just like raw discipline and no one telling you what to do, when to do it. You got to just figure it out. Then I realized, oh, even that's not mine. Even the work ethic
mhm,
is not mine. How many people that we know are super talented, just can't get off the video games or just can't hold down a job because they just don't want to work or they just somehow find a way to mess up every opportunity and just step put their own foot in their mouth, like they just mess it up because of their work ethic. It's not like a skill issue, it's like it's them not being able to like get it together. And subhanAllah, like now it's like if I look at the whole like the chain from like me having the inception of an idea to go do something down the chain of the planning phase and the work ethic and then getting the stuff around me. I know whether it's a team like this podcast or whether it's like the equipment that I need for a particular project or the connections I need for a particular business, all the way to the actual execution and then the results from the execution, right? Like you build up a whole business brand and take it to market and then get zero customers, right? Like so the whole chain, that's all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you walking down that corridor is that work ethic, that push that you feel to get up and do something in the morning, that's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
mhm.
And that was like a big thing for me to like accept, like, oh, what is praiseworthy about me? Is there anything that we can take pride in? Because when I think about like any good that I do, like when you say Alhamdulillah, you say all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means no praise is yours. You're not allowed an ounce of it. I know that you could do praiseworthy acts,
Right.
right? But again, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can reward you for such and such, right? But everything you do from the minute you're born till the moment you die, like what can you really say this is like pat yourself on the back for? Like there's nothing.
I think if we truly deeply reflect on it, nothing. I think the ultimate thing is being grateful. That's it. And even then, like you can't, like subhanallah, I think it's a beautiful way to live. I feel like it's very difficult for people to really truly grasp. I think it is.
Mm.
But innal izzata lillahi jami'a, like truly honor, pride, all of it is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and only Allah can wear the cloak of pride. And there's like a hadith Qudsi about it, and I don't want to say it now, I'll probably butcher it, but essentially the cloak of pride is only for Allah, and if anyone tries to wear that cloak, they're doomed.
Mm.
So, yeah, I don't think, no.
Where would you think a person would be rise to, or what are the benefits of you no longer being fazed by praise? Like, do you
Mm.
think somebody becomes a harder worker? Do you think that they become more consistent in what they do? They put in more effort? Do you think they become braver? Because I assume that
Yeah,
if you believe that all of it's from Allah, then now you believe that whether I succeed or not, it's not in my hands. So failure is no longer my worry. So now I feel braver
yeah,
to do the things. Like if like the brother who told me, hey, the same Allah that gave you a business idea is the same Allah that can give you customers, right? So now I don't feel
yeah,
worried about starting this business because whether I fail or succeed,
yeah.
it's from Allah anyway. So
I think the
but
ultimate reward that is undervalued, and it's because most people probably haven't even felt it,
hmm,
is being content.
how does not needing praise grant you contentment?
Because contentment is something that you can feel. It's something that is like a deep feeling that only Allah can put in the heart. The sense of sakina.
Hmm.
Like a person who's in Gaza, a person who just lost a family member could still be content.
Hmm.
There's no more powerful feeling than that. Nothing can phase you at that point, right? Like if you're always in a mode of being content, then it doesn't matter if you got into a car accident, it doesn't matter if you've just lost a loved one, it doesn't matter if you've been given $1 million.
Hmm.
Regardless, all of that is just things that are happening around you that you're observing, but you're just content with whatever it is that happens. Which in turn will make you brave, which in turn will make you this, well, for different people it's different, right? Some people have personalities where they're not go-getters, they're not trying to hustle and make businesses. They're happy sitting at home and they're content.
How does the lack of praise get contentment? Maybe I'm failing to connect it to.
A lack of praise or the way you process praise.
Or maybe like yeah, like
Because there's
the
a
lack
difference.
of your need for praise. How does that breed contentment in you? Like if I'm not getting praised by anybody, or even if I am getting praised by anybody, but it never penetrates my heart,
Because
how do I
now
feel?
all you care about, it to me, the way I process that
Mm,
is I don't care about anyone except Allah. If you
mm,
reach that point, then the only one you're trying to please is Allah.
I
At
see.
that point, you walk with purpose, you walk with confidence, you walk with a sense of, I'm content. I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't mean I'm being happy and being content are two different things.
Mm,
It's not happiness that you're seeking, it's being content, meaning it doesn't matter the situation you're in,
mm,
there's a sense of peace, there's a sense of calmness, there's a sense of purpose that you're always feeling versus this constant chase of happiness or this constant chase of, so that's what I think the ultimate priceless thing that I think everyone wants as well is to feel the sense of being content,
yeah,
and the only way to get that is by Allah giving it to you.
yeah, that's true. And I guess I never thought about it like that. I think I felt contentment on rare occasions.
Mhm.
And man, I gotta tell you, there's that saying where the richest man is not the one who has the most, it's the one who needs nothing.
Mhm.
And that's how you feel. It's like when you feel content, you feel like it doesn't matter who offers me what. I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Um, yeah, man, this is great, man. Appreciate you. let's wrap it
Likewise.
up. That's another episode of Road Back Home, and
Roll back home.
we'll catch you guys on the next episode. All right, Assalamu alaikum.
It's not.